Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Zapier to send your customer an order confirmation email and to also send an order confirmation email to you or anybody else on your team every time an order is placed on your chatbot. So if you saw our last video, you saw how to export the data, the checkout data, the customer data, and the order data using Zapier. So just to recap, we used webhooks by Zapier. Here's our webhook. We copied that webhook and we inserted it in build, e-commerce settings, down here, order alerts, Zapier webhooks. Here's our URL. Okay, so we're gonna come here, pull in samples. We then chatted with our bot to create a sample. Here's our sample. We placed an order. So we've got all of that data. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to continue and we're gonna add a step. So there are a couple of ways that you can send out emails. You can use your own SMTP server so that it goes from your own domain email address, such as support@yourdomain.com. So that's right here, SMTP. What you can do is you can go to Gmail and you can set up an alias send email as using your domain email address, or you can use Zapier email. So here, just for the ease, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Gmail and we're gonna use Zapier email. Okay, so all you gotta do is in the search bar type Zapier email. Here's email by Zapier, and select that. And now we're going to fill in all of the details for our email. Send outbound email, save and continue. And you want to set up the preview definitely. So who is it going to go to? It's going to go to the customer, right? And then you can put a comma and put your own email there. So to pull in samples from your chatbot, here you have to click on this. So you click on this and it's going to load all of the data. So this is the customer's email address. So that's where we want to send it. Every time customer places an order, Zapier is going to use the email address they provided on the checkout page. That's over here. It's going to use the email address they provided over here on the checkout page, and it's going to send an email to that. Obviously, you might want to send an email to yourself as well, right? So you can go ahead and add your own email. I'm going to go ahead and add my own email. You might want to send it to somebody else, such as an office administrator or your delivery guy. So we're going to add him as well. You can add as many as you want, separated by a comma. Okay, let's go to the subject. Since the goal of this is to be an order confirmation email for the customer, we can say, thank you for your order at Adelaide Clothing. And then we can say, dear, and if we want to address the customer, we click here for the data. Thank you for your order. We are busy shipping it out, and you should receive it shortly. Please find below your order details. You don't have to send an order confirmation email to a customer because, as we can see in Messenger, we've sent them a receipt. So they already have the information, but this is just in case you want to have an extra step. So if you're not sending an order confirmation email to a customer, you're just sending an order confirmation email to yourself. You can obviously have a different subject, such as, you can say something like, alert, new order on Messenger chatbot, something like that, right? And if that's what you would do, then something over here would be like, we have a new order, please see below. And prepare to deliver immediately. And then you would add all of the order details. So you could do name on order, and you can format it to be any way you want. You can select all the variables that were received through the checkout and through the order. So let's just take a look at all your variables. You can go, so we can do contact, email, right? So this way we can add whatever we want to the email by selecting from here each time. It's a pretty lengthy process the first time, but you only ever have to do it once. And you can format it any way you want. So order subtotal, and then that's your taxes. Order subtotal, and then order total. You might want to add your currency here. So $, or whatever your currency is. There we go. If it's for your delivery person, you might also want to let them know how that person paid. So the person paid by is wanting to pay cash, or they've already paid, you can inform them of that. So payment method. Most people don't use cash on delivery, but we used it as a test case so that I didn't have to pay $40 for a fake order. So you could do payment method. You can also, of course, add the shipping method. Finally, you can add a footer to your email, or you can add any other information that you want the customer to have, right? Or that you would want your delivery person to have. And then obviously shipping address. We cannot forget that. You can make it look pretty by doing the formatting any way that you want. So here's the shipping address that the customer gave us. Okay, like I said, then we can add a footer. You can say, you can contact us anytime if you have a question about your order at support@yourdomain.com, or call us at your phone number. Great. Thanks for shopping with us. Team Adelaide. I guess if you want to send an attachment from name, so remember we're using Zapier, email by Zapier, but if you use your own SMTP, then it would obviously come from the name that was attached to that email. Or you can use Gmail and set up an alias and send your own domain through Gmail. Okay, so we're going to do it from Adelaide Shopping. We want the customer to be able to reply anytime. So reply to support at, your domain, or whatever it is. If you don't want your email address to show up here, you probably don't want it. So let's just cut it out of here. Since it's going to the customer, we don't want them to see all these extra people. Let's just add our extra people over here. Forest line breaks, no. Okay, let's continue. And there we go. We have an email. It looks pretty messy because it's just a text sample, but you can send a test email to yourself and then you'll see that the formatting would look nice just like we did it. Or you can go back and you can do send test email by Zapier. Okay, here we go. So I received the email and it looks pretty good. You can change the formatting. You can remove the customer name any way you want. If you have questions about the formatting, just email us. You can also add your logo. You can add your attachment as I showed you previously. Okay, now let's navigate back to Zapier. There might be something else that you want to do as a second additional step. So for example, you might want to save the customer's email or the customer's information in some order database that you have. So let's go ahead and click add a step down here. And the step that we're going to be adding right now is saving the customer's email to Mailchimp. So what we're going to do is we're going to add or update a subscriber and then click on save and continue. Okay, you will have to connect a Mailchimp account. If it's your first time using Zapier, you can just log in and connect to your Mailchimp account. We're pretty regular users, so I already have a Mailchimp account connected, and I'm going to go ahead and use this. So save and continue. At this point, you can select the list that you would want this customer to be added to. For example, suppose you have a list which is monthly newsletter. So I'm going to go ahead. If you click on this button, Zapier is going to pull up all of the lists that you have already created in the Mailchimp account that you just selected. Make sure that your Mailchimp account has all of the necessary fields the list has all of the necessary fields that you would like to add. Okay, so I'd like to add the subscriber email. Again, I'm going to click here. I'm going to catch the hook. Remember the hook that we first created? And I'm going to be adding the person's email address. Double opt-in means, do you want to send them an email being like, hey, you've just been added to this list. Please reply to this email to confirm. That's up to you. We're going to skip it for now. If the subscriber already exists, we don't want to add them again because then they'll be getting double emails from us. That's very frustrating. Great, so that's it. You can do refresh fields if you feel like some fields are missing. So for example, I did refresh fields and it pulled up other fields from my Mailchimp list. So because you might have a customer database list, you might want to add their address. You'd add their address if you have Mailchimp or any other newsletter or email marketing set up based on a customer's location, what their city is. So again, we're going to look up the webhook, catch hook, and then we're going to go to the customer address, and we're going to go ahead and add the customer address. Yay! You might want to add the customer's phone number as well. We already have all that data, so let's just go ahead and add it. And now we've added the customer's phone number. Obviously, you need the customer's name so you can send a personalized email that says, hey, first name, last name. Okay, let's go ahead and catch the hook customer name and then continue. Great, now what it's going to do is it's going to send a test subscriber to Mailchimp. So you go send test to Mailchimp. And it's saying that, yes, the test subscriber was sent to Mailchimp. So what you can do is you can navigate back to your Mailchimp list and check and see if that subscriber, which is you since you're testing your bot, was added or not. If it was successful, which it should be, you can go ahead and click finish. And your Zap is complete. Name your Zap. So I'm going to name my Zap customer order confirmation email plus Mailchimp. And then you can go ahead and turn on your Zap. If you don't turn on your Zap, it's not going to work. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at any time.